Hi everyone, this is Yana Smakula. Welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm re-sharing a card tutorial that went live on the Spellbinders YouTube channel as a part of the Spellbinders March 2026 Club Along event. I created a Mother's Day card or a card to celebrate mom using products from the small die as well as the large die and the Press and Foil Club. I had a wonderful time combining these products and creating a unique one-of-a-kind 5x7 card. So let's go ahead and jump right into the video. I have a 5x7, I was going to say 6, no, 5x7 card to share with you today featuring the small die in conjunction with some other club products from this month. So let's go ahead and get started. I already went ahead and I pre-cut the pieces and I assembled the Superwoman from the small die of the month. If this is your first time seeing this die kit and you have no idea how to put this one together, be sure to watch my video tutorial featuring this card where I show the steps in detail. There is a separate small die of the month tutorial on the Spellbinders YouTube channel showing you how to assemble this die kit. And also be sure to check out the Spellbinders blog where we have additional examples with this beautiful woman die kit. I did basically the exact same thing. The only difference is I added a little bit of ink blending. I used Hero Arts inks from my stash, and let's see. I ink blended the red, which is Poppy, with the Hero Arts Cranberry ink. This added a little bit of shading. I ink blended her hair with the Butter Bar. You can see there's just a tiny bit of blending at the bottom here. And then I used the Arctic for her shirt. So these are the three colors of ink that were used to add shading and a little bit of extra detail to this die kit. Now, as for colors of cardstock that were used, like I mentioned, I used Poppy, that's my red color. I used Saffron, that's my yellow color. I also used Fawn, that's my skin color. I went with a slightly darker skin color compared to this card. And I also went with, let's see, I'm trying to find it here, Seaside for her shirt and a little bit of white for her belt. So this is my main color combination. And if you look at this card or, at these colors, you can clearly identify red and yellow. And if you know a little bit of color theory, you'll know that red and yellow go super well together with blue. So that kind of dictated the color choice for the background of my card. I wanted to have a dark and dramatic background like I always do. If you know me, you know I love my dark and dramatic colors. So I picked the Spellbinders Indigo card base or Indigo card stock to be the front panel for my card base. And this is already cut to 5 by 7 inches. The girl is going to be in the center of my card. Now, I want to add a field of flowers. I want this beautiful woman to be surrounded with beautiful, fragrant flowers, and I have already cut a whole bunch of flowers using the dies from the large die of the month, which is that fantastic sneaker and the grill tools. And you also have the flowers in there. Now, if you opted not to get the large die of the month for March 2026, you can easily substitute these flowers with pretty much any other Spellbinders flowers you might have in your stash. You guys know we have a whole lot of different flowers. This can be your mini blooms and sprigs or many other flowers. You'll just need to find something, a flower, a larger flower that is about an inch in diameter. And then of course you'll need some foliage as well. So I already have the flowers prepared and I'll walk you through the flower assembly process a little bit more in just a second. But before we get to that, I want to talk a little bit about the sentiment because my glimmer is already hot and I want to start doing the foiling and I want to show you the foiling. So for this card, I want to foil a sentiment that says best mom ever. And I have already grabbed the foil plates from the Press and Foil kit for this month. And the Press and Foil kit for this month, it includes a whole bunch of different words, individual words. As you can see, here is my kit. This is a prototype. I receive my products as prototypes. So that's why they look like this. When you guys receive your products, they come in a nice and pretty Spellbinders packaging. So never mind the, the backer paper here. So anyhow, this kit, it includes a whole bunch of individual word BetterPress plates. And with the BetterPress plates, you can press and you can foil. My favorite thing to do with the BetterPress plates, of course, is to foil because they can never resist a little bit of shine and shimmer on my cards. So this is what I'm going to do. I also need a card for my mom, so I decided to foil a sentiment that reads, Best Mom Ever. You can also do Best Sister Ever or Mother's Day or, Best Brother. Of course, that's not going to work with the Superwoman, but you have options. That's what I'm trying to say. You have a whole bunch of different options. It can be a best friend ever or anything you want. You have a good variety of sentiments or words in this set. Now, I want these words foiled in a straight line at the very bottom of my panel. And to do that, I kind of need to align them. And usually when I do that, it's a little bit tricky. So to help me, I'm using a T-square ruler. And I'm just going to place the ruler on my panel. My panel is placed on my work surface. I have grid lines on my work surface. I have 2 magnets that are going to hold the paper in place for the time being while I plan my sentiment placement. I'm going to start grabbing my plates and placing them one by one. So best mom, and I'm trying to butt them up against the ruler. And then I have ever. If you want, you can have tiny spaces between your words, or you can have them all butted together, up to you. If you do them all together, it's going to look like one word. It's going to be a little bit hard to read. So maybe try and have a little bit of space in between your words, like this. Okay? So the ruler, it's helping me make sure that the words are straight. And also it's helping me make sure that I have a little bit of gaps, that the gaps on the right and on the left are pretty much, the same in size. Next, I'm going to grab my Best Ever Craft tape. I already have a piece that I've used previously, so it is not quite as sticky. If it is a brand new piece of tape, I like to stick it onto my hand to remove some of the stickiness. I then stick it onto the paper and onto the plates. So I create like a little hinge for myself. I always do this when I'm doing hot foiling. This helps me make sure that everything is nice and straight and that my sentiment or whichever image that I'm foiling is going to be foiled exactly where I want it. Next, I'm using the Spellbinders foil. This is the white foil. I love this foil color. To me, it looks like white heat embossing. I need to cut a better piece because I did not cut this one straight. Here, this is a much better cut piece. By the way, if you struggle cutting your foil straight, use the Spellbinders foil cutter. It's a lifesaver because you can really cut some nice and even strips using your foil cutter and, don't have any foil, don't waste any foil. I'm adding a little bit of tape to make sure this all stays nice and in place. And I already have my Glimmer hot foil system ready. Going to pop my panel onto the system, place the timer button, add the plates or the shims on top, and just give it a minute for the glimmer to warm up my sentiment, and then I'll take it out, bring it to my Platinum 6 die cutting and embossing machine, which sits off to the side on another desk, and then I'll show you the beautiful result. I'm not going to walk you through the whole foiling process because I'm pretty sure most of you have already seen it. If you're seeing Glimmer Hot Foil System for the very, very first time, be sure to check out the Spellbinders Boot Camp on the Spellbinders YouTube channel. And this is going to tell you exactly what Glimmer Hot Foiling system is, how to do hot foiling, and you're going to simply fall in love with the hot foiling process. And voila, we have our sentiment ready. I love the way this looks. I particularly like how bold this sentiment is, very striking. I do have another one foiled in gold because I was kind of testing other color combinations. So if you prefer gold, you might want to go with that color. But for this card, because I'll be adding a whole bunch of white flowers, I went with white. I also have a sub-sentiment, and this one reads, "You are unstoppable." So this one comes from the same small die of the month for March 2026. And my idea is to have the sentiment placed at the very bottom here sort of underlining and a little bit overlapping the main foil sentiment. Now, I already have foam adhesive added to the back of my girl, and I actually did a mix of foam adhesive. So here I have regular foam adhesive squares, but then the cape or the hair is raised slightly with the help of a thin foam adhesive square just to help separate the layers and create, a little bit of additional extra dimension. Because I have that, and because I also want to separate her cape from her main body, and I want the cape to be lifted up slightly, I have a double layer of adhesive on the cape. I have a regular foam square and then a thin foam adhesive square stacked on top. So with that ready, let's go ahead and foam mount the girl in place. I'm basically going to place her in the center of my panel, and then I'll have the flowers surround her. I've had kitties on my desk, so of course I have a whole bunch of cat hair. Hopefully you won't be able to see the cat hair too much on the finished card. Okay, like so. Let's go ahead and foam mount the sentiment as well. Now let's talk a little bit about the flowers. Like I mentioned earlier, I used the dies from the large die of the month to create the flowers for this card. Now the dies in the large die of the month, they all come on a stem and are designed to be tucked inside the sneaker. But you can also use them differently. You can skip the stem and you can use just the flowers themselves without the stem, and you can also alter the leaves. For example, you'll notice that the smaller flowers, like this type of flower and this type of flower, they have additional leaves next to them. And what I used is I basically used this die cut, and I took some scissors and I snipped the leaves apart to have individual leaves for my flowers. This way, I didn't have to search for a different type of leaf in my stash. Instead, I could just reuse the leaf dies from this set. Now, the idea for this card, or for the flower field, is to surround the girl. I don't want the flowers to be tucked under the girl, because in that case, the image becomes a little bit too busy. I simply want the girl to be surrounded by the flowers and the leaves. I also don't want any of the leaves or flowers to go outside the edge of my card. I want the pattern and the florals contained within the edges of my panel. So I'm going to take a minute and place all of the flowers onto my background. I also took a photo with my phone of this card as I was planning it to give me a guide. I don't want to, go ahead and start planning the floral placement all over again. Instead, I have my guide and I'm just going to transfer the flowers one by one onto my background. Now, originally, I did not plan to use any foam adhesive, but just now I kind of decided it would make sense to add some foam adhesive here, use like black foam squares to pop some of these images up a bit. Now, the reason I'm using black foam adhesive squares and not white, although I did use the white foam adhesive squares for the girl, is because I don't want the foam adhesive to be visible from the, side of my card. The girl foam adhesive probably won't be visible because she's in the center, but the flowers, they're a little bit closer to the edge of the card, so you can kind of catch a glimpse of the white foam adhesive if I were to use white. Now, I also wanted to mention the flower centers. In this die set, the large die of the month, where the flowers come from, there is a different flower center envisioned for these. But as I was creating my card, as I was experimenting, with all the pieces, I had a couple of spare stars from die cutting the girl. I tested placing one of the stars in the center of the flowers, and it just clicked. It looked like such a fantastic flower center, so I decided I would instead die cut a whole bunch of stars and use them as the flower centers for my cards instead of the regular florals, or instead of the regular flower centers. You can do whatever you want. You can also add gems if you wanted to, but I felt like these stars were kind of fitting to go with, the Superwoman, just because, well, she has all the superpowers, she has all the stars and all of that, and I don't know, it just made sense for this particular card. Now, as you can tell, I created little floral clusters using the dies. I did that ahead of time prior to hitting record because I wanted to do as much die cutting done ahead of time as possible. Okay, so this one, let's see. I'm trying to make sure that I tuck all of my little die cuts, or I fit all of my little die cuts properly. And I will have these two overlap slightly on my card, just because it kind of made sense. For the color combination, by the way, I've kind of forgot to mention that. The flowers, the largest flowers, they were die cut from chiffon cardstock. And then the other flowers, the smaller, like this one and this one, these were die cut from brushed white cardstock, which is, of course, my absolute favorite, along with the brushed black. You probably have seen me use that cardstock pretty much on every card and in every club along video. Now, these little sideways flowers, they were cut from the wild berry cardstock, and then the green is the peridot cardstock, also from Spellbinders. So beautiful, beautiful colors, and they all combine and work wonderfully together. And voila, we have our background and the card pretty much finished. Now, if you find you have some gaps in the background where you want to add something else, but perhaps the flower die cuts that you have are a bit too big for the space that you have, it's helpful to add those little stars to your background. I die cut a couple. I feel like I cut maybe 3 or 4 groupings from the brushed white cardstock, and I'm just going to basically scatter them around my background. They're going to add a little bit of additional movement here, and they're going to help me fill the gaps, and they're going to tie nicely with the white die cut flowers that I have here, and also they will tie together nicely with the white foiled sentiment. If you did the gold sentiment, you can die cut the stars from gold paper, like gold mirror or maybe even gold glitter paper, and have a couple of gold stars in the background. And here's a look at the finished card. I added this panel onto a top folding 5x7 white card base, and you can see how this compares to a regular A2. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video tutorial. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you're interested in the products I used, I have them linked in the video description below. Thanks so much for spending time with me today. Love you all, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!